Is gonna tell her story. No cap. I'll be wearing a hat today though. All right. All right. Here we go. Hey, Cher, how are you?
I think a lot of healing comes from talking and speaking, and we talk about this all the time. This is not something that I thought would be happening now, and only through just processing it with, my therapist and the Lord, and just trying to understand the part that I played, the part that just was played on me. It's a whole thing. I think people might misconstrue this as me putting everything on something, and I'm not saying that he is not wrong. Of course he is, but I'm saying that I have a duty as well to claim something and then to learn it. I claim to be a Christian. Sure, I need to learn more about my faith, and I wasn't doing that. So I feel like I've talked about that in the first segment, was very open and honest about that. I've seen that response, and also just I want to clarify a few things that I saw in the comments, or that some people have said. Just before we get going, he was not legally married while I was with him. So I just need to make that very clear. From what we know, their legal marriage began in 2023, but they were spiritually married 6 or 7 years prior. I don't know. That's what she said. That's not me. So I just need that to be clear. The man was not married. Please. Was having sex outside of marriage correct? No. But y'all seem to be real hooked on the marriage part. I just want to make that clear. Yeah, please. There's enough. Also, people are asking why I have screenshots. So I explained in the first half that I thought he was God. So that's why I was very obsessed. Moving forward in the relationship, it's not like every time we talked, I screenshotted it. It's just called a text thread. So sorry, God forbid a girl doesn't delete her text threads. So obviously, the Elias group chat, I just went back to the Elias group chat and screenshotted the messages. I feel like that's quite, I don't know. I don't think that's that hard.
A lot of which you haven't even played back. There's some screen recordings that I think in probably the next part of this, we're probably going to play some of those, like some of the prophetic instructions and the message, like the deep things of God, right?
And also too about the marriage portion. Sorry, because people may say to Gigi, you knew he was married. You guys have no idea the psychological warfare that goes on in your mind with this man. So I'm just obviously clarifying for time stamp purposes, not for morality. Regardless, this is wrong. Of the highest level. I don't care who or who isn't married. So because I see people, but Gigi, you knew he was married. You knew he was. Please, y'all want to go ahead and get abused by this man? Have a good time. Okay, this is not for the weak. So just putting that out there. Let's not victimize people based off of, married or not. It's right or wrong. That's what we're talking about here. Was this right? Absolutely not. So I need that to be out there as well. All right, guys. So where we left off was the tide turning in our relationship and it becoming more of a romantic thing. So I'm going to break down to you what that looked like, and kind of, again, more of the system of the prophets, I think, is also important, the network that they have, because I think a lot of people think, oh, these guys maybe operate alone, or maybe, it's just him. No, it's a whole thing. So yeah, that's what we're going to break down today, and let's just get to it. So the nature of our relationship at this point, we are intimate with each other for the first time. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because obviously I had put earlier that I was saving myself until marriage, but that didn't happen with him. And he knew that. It wasn't a fight. I will be honest. I wasn't no, please. I'm really not trying to save myself. I was nervous, but I told you guys my history already. Yeah, it is what it is. So we are intimate. Our meeting spot is a beach in Santa Monica. We go there, lays out the blanket or whatever. We hang out, we talk. He tells me about all these things that he wants to do in my life. He wants to help me. I let him know I'm in debt. because I've been giving to the church. But anyways, I let him know I'm in debt. He tells me he's going to help me get out of debt. I have a fashion line that I'm working on. He's going to help give me money for it. He thinks I could be a model. He's going to put me in touch with a lot of his contacts. Just, I have a really bright star shining on me, and there's just so many amazing things he wants to do in my life. And I'm just like, wow, like this is crazy. So we are laying there, and
that's grooming, by the way. That's grooming. Just throwing that in, throwing that out there. Keep going.
So he kisses me for the first time, and I'm just like, wow. And he makes like this weird like like squealing noise, because it's like, I don't know, I guess it's just crazy. A lot of stuff is happening. So we go back to the car, we watch Coming to America, and that's like the first time that things happen. And while we're there, I'm still like, it's actually sad. I'm just very naive. I'm like, oh my gosh, are the angels here?
One second. What do you mean by that's the first time things happen?
That's the first time we're intimate with each other.
Oh, in the car.
Yeah, in the car.
In the Benz. In the Benz, the black Benz.
That Brian is driving. That one.
The black. Oh, the S class. S class. Okay.
Yeah. So, oopsies. So that's going on. And can you guys still hear me? Did I disappear?
No, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. So I can't see you anymore. But anyway, so that happens, and we're in the car, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like the angels see me. The angels see me. Like, are we going to be in trouble? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, the angels know that we're human. Like, it's okay. Like, yes, they're here, but they know. So, yeah.
Run that back. They're here, but what? Said
okay.
The angels are what?
Yeah, so he said that the angels are watching in the car, but they know that we're human, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay. So so that is kind of how the intimate parts start. And then going from there, then we get more romantic. We start talking about our lives. We start talking about kids together. He asked me how I feel about eloping. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's crazy. And then he has this joke about like my eggs. I think I gave you the picture. Can you bring the picture up? It's just not this particular moment, but it's just to reference like how he would speak about us and having kids. So he talks about, and just to, if you didn't watch, this is 2020, just so everybody remembers, this is September 2020. So yeah, he talks about having my eggs and whatever, and we're going to have like big babies, and I don't know, maybe that's kind of like fetishy. I don't know, but whatever. So this becomes a routine, you guys. In the morning, I have work. I drive to Northridge, which again, I live in Long Beach. So Long Beach to Northridge is 50 minutes without traffic. We work out of Northridge, we go eat, then I drive back home to Long Beach, finish work, then I drive to Santa Monica, and I meet him at the beach, and we commune with each other. And so you guys might be asking,
what's commune? What are we talking about?
Oh, how babies are born now.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that's happening, and that's happening like literally every day. Not every day we were communing, but we were hanging out every single day. So when I say communing, I mean sex, guys. Like, please don't make me say it a bunch of times. So yeah, so every single day we're doing that or whatever, and we were doing activities that let me know I was a part of his life. For example, we would go shooting. Can you put the pictures up of the shooting target that I put up?
Absolutely.
No.
I'm gonna put it up. I wanted to ask a question really quickly. I know you're in you have your train of thought, and I don't want you to lose your train of thoughts. But I just received this right here. I don't know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? So this is okay. So you can't see. I'm just showing it for the viewers there. Then, so I mean, you're talking about eloping, and it just seems like a copy and paste. Like it's the same thing. Like eggs, whatever. So I just wanted to throw that up there. The shooting. I have the shooting range right here. This is it. So that was sent to Gigi, and then yours was what was sent to you. So she was just saying, it was just put in the comments that it was copy and paste.
Yeah. He asked me to marry him 3 times. You put the shooting range picture up?
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was So yeah, we would go to the shooting range, and again, incorporating me in his world made me believe like I was in his world, like I'm really his woman, like we're doing activities that he likes to do. So he asked me to marry him, like I said, 3 times. He asked me to elope with him. He asked me to marry him in the backseat of the G-Wagon after activities were done. Like, he just always wanted to get married. So he wanted to marry somebody, y'all. I just, we must stay focused. So this is happening. He tells me he loves me. Great, great, great. And then I get the first time that he tells me that God told him and Maggie have to get married. So this happens September 10th. He tells me that God says he is going to have to marry Maggie at some point. He tells me that he has been praying every single day that God will change his mind. He says that that we have to see what we can do together to pray. So in my mind, I'm like, it's me and Maggie. Like, it's her versus me. You know what I mean? Like, one of us is going to get that ring, and gosh dang it, it's going to be me. So this starts to be like my mind frame in regards to how hard I'm going, and like showing him that I love him and being available for anything he needs, and like mind, body, like whatever. Like, I'm your girl. And he talks about this burden that he has, and he has a big weight that he has to carry, and it makes you feel empathetic. Like, I want to be the one to help you carry that burden. I'm strong enough to deal with that weight. And so I need to show the Lord that I can do it. So that's something. And then I also put in here just the continuation of him giving me money. It's the yellow is me. Oh no, yeah, the yellow is him and the green is me. Do you want me to?
Yeah, it's on the screen. This is the one on the September 10th, September
Yes.
11th. Yeah.
So, like, I'm still giving. I'm still, I don't want to mess up the spiritual side of things, even though we're now with each other intimately. But to be clear, he's not telling me we can't be together anymore. He's just telling me that now he's seeking the Lord. God is kind of telling him, I don't know, like, and he always teaches like you can change God's mind. So this is one of those things that instantly I'm like, okay, we got to get to work, change God's mind. Okay, so the next thing that we talked about was him buying me a car, or helping me buy a car. So as I was telling you guys yesterday or today, just now, I'm doing all this driving, right? Like, low key, at least 80 to 100 miles a day, going from Long Beach to Northridge, back to Long Beach, back to Santa Monica. My car breaks down, y'all. My car is like, we literally we can't keep doing this. So eventually I let him know, and I'm like, oh yeah, so here we go. Here come the receipts. So he tells me that he will give me the money for a down payment for a car. He'll give me $10,000. I want to be clear. I do not remember if he gave me $5,000 and Shondell gave the other $5,000, or if she gave me the full $10,000 from the church fund. I do not remember. All I know is that he said, Shondell will send you the money. Shondell works for the church. So I just want to make that clear. Please, I'm doing the best I can. Unfortunately, sorry, I didn't screenshot that one. Those of you that are asking why you have screenshots, I missed that one. Forgive me.
So surely somewhere, but that's a transactional detail on the screen right now. So
yeah, Sheridan's British. No, I'm not British. It just comes out sometimes, guys. Yeah, that's a far drive. It is a far drive, and I'm 6'5" with tendonitis. So my knees were crying day after day. But, we must stay focused. Okay, so that happens. And also, I want to show you guys me going to check out the cars. So you can put those.
Somebody said, what did you buy at Rides Age for $200?
Somebody said what?
What did you buy at Rides Age for $200?
Look now y'all in my business. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. I don't know, okay? But anyways, can you post the, the invoices of me looking at cars?
Yeah, this is it on the screen right now.
Okay, so I start going to different dealerships. I live in Long Beach, so I'm going to different dealerships. I'm looking at a Mercedes, I'm looking at a Tesla, I'm looking at all these different cars, and he's telling me, go look at these nice cars, babe. Send me send me pictures, send me invoices, like let me know how much it's gonna be. Obviously, like I don't want you to not be able to do what you need to do, like XYZ. And again, if you're a regular church member with a family maybe and something happens to your car, it's totally normal for your church to help you out and help you get a car. Like, that's what the church is for. That's community. That's a good thing. I'm not a normal church member. At this point, I'm his girl. So I guess if he wants to, maybe say, oh, she's a church member, I was helping her out. Okay, but like, everybody be for real. So anyways, that's what's happening. And then finally, I end up buying the car. So I also put that on there. I put $6K down to get the car, and then I use the other $4 to clear off what I owe on the car. And that's pretty much it. So.
And that's the receipt for this is for the car.
Yeah, where it says Central Ford Southgate, that Shondell for sure sent me money. Yeah, Shondell, y'all know what I'm saying, man, it was Shondell. So yes, that's what was going on at the time. And after that, everything is cool. Now I'm able to go back and forth. I get a Ford because, again, y'all, I am literally doing the dash every single night. Like, I have to, like, for gas purposes. And my Ford was nice, y'all. Anyways, so that happens. And now I want to talk about the deception that I played a part in when I got this car. So a lot of people, when they get something, they testify, right? Like, that's not a bad thing. With me, I testified that my car broke down and the Lord helped me get a new car, y'all. And I put that in the group chat, on the YouTube live stream when he was trying to raise money for a building. Because there was a portion where he was like, and people are giving and miraculous things are happening and da-da-da-da-da. And so you want to like be in the herd. So I'm like, amen, Papa, I gave towards the church building and the Lord blessed me with a car. And then everybody in the comments is like, wow, praise God, praise God.
Oh my God.
Savannah, slow down. Slow down.
What's the one from yesterday?
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
That's diabolical, though. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm tweeting things like, I wish you guys only knew how like great God was and da-da-da-da. But that's a deception that happens. So you have people that he will give money to. There are people in the church right now who he is paying for their homes, who is giving them $50,000, $70,000 down payments on their houses. And then when they get the house, praise God, oh my God, you guys, God helped us get a house. Wow, God is miraculous. God is real. And it's like.
Now it would say, you can ask this. You can ask him. This won't go to deep house.
I laid down on a house. I put my face on the ground and I said, God, you are great. And it's like, you paid for the house. What? And again, guys, joking is this is our life, and it's ingrained in us. These are not things that we're just making up. You can look at them now. There's key people that are planted in these cults that are used as pillars. And because they're pillars, no matter who goes in and out, you can always look at them to remember whatever sort of thing is happening. Like, oh, this person's been here for a long time. Though they would know. Oh, they haven't. They've been here for 10 years. He'll use length. He'll use familiarity to keep his character clean, to keep him associated with this person who's been here for so long. So that way, even though things are changing, whatever, they've been here the whole time. They wouldn't watch him go crazy, and they've been here for 10 years. They've been here since the house for 12 years.
You can ask him. It's been here from the.
He was there before.
He was there from the house. Dun, dun.
We must stay focused now. But it's a tactic. And so I myself fell into it. I was like, yeah, same thing with me. So I just, again, this is a teaching video as well. Like, this is for educational purposes. Yeah, it's my story, but a lot of people don't recognize that these people are plants. Things are really happening. I've seen these guys come to him and ask for money and then literally post that God gave them money. Like, that's how that works. Like, literally nobody in that church got money but him. Like, we all know that. Like,
Allegedly.
There are business, like, there are people with money, but it's like the pillars, the people you be seeing. All right, we must stay focused.
Focused.
So after the car, everything goes. Somebody said, EJ, lower your volume. Doesn't matter, Okay, anyways. So after the car thing, people asked, or you had asked yesterday about the pregnancy. And so I wanted to touch on that as well, because again, him and I were intimate very often. Very often is like literally putting it mildly. like a lot. And we never used protection, ever. So the fluids had to go somewhere, and they went, and the seed was sown. But I personally have never experienced a miscarriage. I never got an abortion. None of those things ever happened to me. I was just popping Plan Bs like M&Ms. Personally, that's just my story.
But there was a day, there was a time you were late. It's like a week or a couple weeks.
Yeah, there was a time I was late, but then every time he would like tell me like, keep it now, like I want us to have a family. Or then he would say, no, not yet, like it's not time yet, soon, but not yet. So it was always this back and forth. And even though I was drinking the Kool-Aid, there's still that like feeling of uncertainty. I don't want to be uncertain when I'm having a child. Like I want to know this is my man, is my man. And I just, sometimes he wanted a baby, sometimes he didn't. So I was like, okay, please, fine. But I just remember one time I was so sad, and I called him and I told him that I took it, and he started crying on the phone, and he was just like, I was like, yeah, you told me to take it. He's like, no. And he like goes into the studio and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you took it. And I'm like, what? Like, you know, so it's that kind of like deception that you also experience consistently. So again, September goes on like normal. And
do you want to show? Do you see this? You don't see it on your screen.
No.
You took the pill again? Oh no.
Oh, our message. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. I
yes.
It was interesting that we made a joke about
that was literally our inside joke, but then people will say he never did that. They'll say Gigi's lying. And like that's literally what we joked about. And it's not funny, but like it's a reality.
Yeah.
So and then again you can also put like the pictures up of just what we were doing in, like September, I guess, if you want. Anyways, things go back to normal. Consistently hanging out. From my understanding, Maggie is not his wife, but God said they will get married. But they are not living together. They're not in a relationship. They're still broken up. This is just a revelation that God has given him. Like it's gonna be her. We can pray that his mind will change. We can pray that you'll have the ability to all those things. And I showed one in the morning that says 10 a.m. because, like I said, he was calling me every morning. Relatively, maybe it wasn't every single morning, but it was a lot of mornings, y'all. If there's 7 days of the week, it was at least 5. So yeah, so there's that. And so that's just, again, how my mind is. Now, we fast forward into October, the first Ghana trip. So the first Ghana trip is not the one, I don't know what was going on in that Ghana trip. He didn't tell me about any like juju stuff. But I think this is important because it talks about the network of people that are involved with this. So on this Ghana trip in October, he goes to visit Bernard Taylor. This is supposed to be another spiritual father of his. Yeah, that's his eating. He's supposed to be a spiritual father of his. So as you guys can see, like someone asked yesterday, like, show us you on FaceTime with him while he's on the plane. That's him. And this man allegedly has also been unfaithful to his wife. And what you see there is an article showing that. So I say that because this is not an uncommon thing for this network of men. It's not like, oh, not him, he's good, he's innocent. Like, no, they all do the same thing. They're all a part of the same ideology. Do you know what I mean? Like, allegedly, Bernard Taylor was unfaithful to his wife. The only reason why it's, kind of is because of the messages that Lovie shared with me that his wife was telling to Lovie. Again, I'm just like, yeah, it's just.
So this is a screenshot. You guys are on the phone and he's sharing with you the messages that she sent to him.
Yeah.
Why is this screenshot?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this one? Why do you have a screenshot of this conversation?
I have a screenshot of this conversation because I remember doing my like research on that guy that he was talking about when he was telling me like, oh, I'm going to go visit Taylor. That's why I also had the screenshot of this article and stuff like that. And so like, yeah, about who he is. 'Cause I didn't know, I never heard of that guy before. So when I'm like researching this, I'm screenshotting this so that way I can go back and like cross-reference. I guess I didn't have to screenshot. I could have just left it in the, like in the, what do you call it? The conversation thing. But I'm sorry, that's just how my brain works.
Okay.
Yeah, I screenshot it in the moment. And you guys have to remember, for all of those saying like, maybe she was planning to do something the whole time. This is 2020. And a lot happened between 2020 and now. And I never said anything. So if I was going to blow, and I crashed out a few times and I still never said anything. So if it was going to happen, y'all, it would have been happened. I hate to break it to you. But yeah, y'all talking about the height.
So
I'm taller than him, please.
this is Mama Taylor allegedly making a pass at Lovie, telling him she wants to come spend time in his room while he's there. I also have, for the record, I also have messages from him with these screenshots as well. I just find them, pull them up. But I know that I know about this incident.
Yeah.
He told me after the fact. He told me after the fact. Yeah, like way later.
So I mean, obviously, like, it's just crazy work that these are the people that they send each other to each other. Like, oh, okay, you're in this area. Oh, go see this one. He's a good man. Oh, you're in Maryland. Oh, go to this one. He's there. Oh, and you believe them because you go to this one. I believe that this guy's a good one because this guy, says he is, because this guy has spoken at his church. So they use each other as like a way to clean image or to, endorse each other. So that's why that's important. So, and again, like I keep saying, if I was going to say something about it, then I would have. But this is literally for education. This is so you guys recognize, like, oh no, he's not a part of it. Yeah, no, they all are. They all are. Hate to break it to you. Unless they're speaking out like EJ's doing. Anyways, so Lovie comes back from Ghana and nothing changes. We keep talking about the future. He buys me some beads and like a little dress. I think I sent those to you as well. And
anybody? Are we going to talk about anybody else, or we're just going to skip? You want us to skip, or we just?
You want to talk about Glovis?
I thought you were gonna. Dang.
Yeah. So
how you gonna? How you gonna?
I'm just sorry.
They give me a warning. Like said, you want to talk about, say the code words, say a code name or whatever. You just throw his name out there like that. But yeah, sure.
Want to talk about?
You already said his name. You might as well just go ahead and talk.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, so I would like to also talk about my relationship with Glovis. So I knew Glovis through Lovie, and Glovis had always been sweet to me, had always been kind, had always been caring, had always been the calm one of the three. So like of the three of them, it was like Lovie's like this guy, and EJ's like the cool guy, but he's like a rebel. He does his own thing. Like you can't control him. And then Glovis was kind of like the calm, like when everyone would crash out, people go to Glovis and like ask for advice and things like that. That was the relationship I had with him. I would ask him for advice. I would ask him, he would like give me spiritual wisdom and things like that. I absolutely adored his wife and his children. Like I've never had anything bad to say about him in that regard. And he also gave me advice dealing with Lovie. Like he's the one that encouraged me to consider polygamy and consider being a second wife and consider Glovis, yeah, and having that conversation with Lovie. Like when people ask, why did you stay? That's why I mean there's a network. Like it's not just one-on-one, the other voices and influence and stuff. And EJ gave me bad advice too. Like we've talked about that, but he never told me to be in polygamy though. He never anyways. But just because I don't want someone to be like, why are you only targeting Glovis? Like, nah, everybody, we were all messed up. Like everybody was whatever. So I see someone sends me the post that he just put up on his story talking about the whole time you've been around someone and you're but you have these screenshots. So either you knew something was going to happen the whole time or you were never genuine from the jump. For someone to come on and to share their story with literally the entire world, to open themselves up to judgment, to slander, to whatever could come, for you to be upset that someone is speaking their truth, I personally am shocked. Like I think that's actually insanity to me. And it's like, I don't know what other purpose you would have to put that up except for wanting to be in cahoots with Lovie again. Why are you defending him? You know what I mean? Like, why are you all of a sudden upset that someone spoke out? And I won't even talk about the stuff that he said about Lovie. Y'all could deal with that. But it's giving pick me. It's giving I want to be back in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just kind of don't, yeah, I just don't appreciate that. I feel like that wasn't right. He knows the things that I've been through. He's supposed to have been counseling me through a lot of them. And he's not a saint either. So
I think what the issue is, right? I think what the issue is that, you know, and this is for like people who are against exposing. The question really is, why do you hate people being exposed, right? It's quite telling, right? It's quite telling. Why don't you want people to be exposed? Are you hiding something? What's going on? You see what I'm saying? And I'll say, like, with Glovis, I've done an exposing video on Glovis, maybe like last month or something like that, where this is like straight up Luciferian, and I used to know Glovis as well, right? And I mean, our relationship was more so shallow, like surface level. We'll send each other memes and things like that. When I first had the first fallout with Glovi, you remember that Glovis was kind of like the middleman or whatever. And turns out he wasn't really a middleman. He was just like doing his own thing. But he preached a lot of weird things. I remember one of the classes you were in, y'all was asked to pray over your period blood, and some like botanical garden kind of stuff, like what plants could do. And there was a thing about the onions, like if you pray, if the onion turns this color or what, I don't know the details of that.
yeah,
So when people are against exposing, like you've told your story today, like his response, like you just said, was, you know, if they were screenshotting this whole time, like da 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 da. Like, here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say, like, if you're going to come out and be like crazy, like you have to understand that, like there's a time, like if I was being diplomatic, I wouldn't show what I'm about to show. But I'm not being diplomatic, so I'm just gonna post this on. I'm just gonna post this on, you know, put this on the screen real quick. So here's one. Here's one. So this is obviously what you're talking about, you know, the second wife thing. But then here's Glovis. This is a conversation that Lovie and I had about Glovis, and he doesn't respect anybody, by the way. So it's
doesn't.
like at this point, like if I heard he said something bad about me, I kind of just let it go because I already know how Lovie is. Like that is his character, right? So it's like someone collected Bele, so that's like someone got pregnant. I was like, yeah, who? And we're talking on the. I don't know if we're talking on the other line, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, this is the person that was with, you know, Glovis or whatever. And he was like, I'm very upset. Apparently something else happened that day. And he goes, Glovis is a foolish man or whatever, right? I guess he tried to talk to him about the whole pregnancy thing and whatever. Mm-mm. So just throwing it out there. So I mean, it's quite telling when people are like, don't expose. Start to question the reason why they don't want things exposed. And this is like not me like coming for him. Like if I wanted to expose Glovis, like we could go there. You see what I'm saying? But we're not doing that. I'm just saying, please, like maybe sit this one out. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't think you should be talking to victim, like shaming victims and you know, trying to guilt victims and stuff like that.
Like I want to make clear that, so as I mentioned before, I'm in seminary. Glovis wrote a recommendation for me to get into seminary. When I was living in Texas, I was working with this church. I was helping them with their social media and their music and just all of those things. I enjoyed a lot of time with his wife and his children, and I love them. Like I do. I've never spoken anything at all, but I love Christ more. And so when I see things that clearly are not correct biblically and Christian wise, I brought that to him. I asked him, like, what is this about? He said something about there being 4 spirits in the Trinity, but there's actually 4. And I'm like, whoa, like what are we talking about right now? So that was the last interaction I've had with him. I have not spoken to him since then. This is the first time seeing his post on a story that I'm hearing about me from him. He has my phone number. I am not blocked. I have not blocked him. I spoke to his wife maybe last week about something, but like the invitation is always there to speak if that's what he wanted. He didn't have to do that. Like it's just not necessary. Do you know what I mean? We've seen enough of people being shamed and told that they're lying and XYZ. And then when someone's exposing darkness, as you're a Christian, I'm exposing someone that is lying on our Savior, that is literally doing demonic things. As a Christian, you should always be on the side of that, of exposing darkness. And so for him to post what he posts, that just tells us what side he's on. You know what I mean? You don't have to question or wonder about that anymore. So, yeah, very, very heartbreaking, but I digress.
Yeah.
So again, Lovie and I continue our relationship. I'm still it's the race to beat out mama. You know, I'm trying to be that girl or whatever. We take a day trip to San Diego. We hang out. Cause I think also people are like, how did you not know? And I keep telling you guys, we spent a lot of time together, like day trips or just on the phone or falling asleep on, like we were just always talking, brushing his teeth, showering, whatever. We were just always talking and things like that. And, I also sent, I think you can put the message up of, just him telling me like how happy or how much he loves the fact that I'm changing myself. Oh yeah, those are the beads that he gave me and stuff like that. But also put the message up where he lists all of the qualities that he loves about me. And then how he's literally saying like, I appreciate you trying to change yourself so that we could have a future together. So when I'm talking about drinking the Kool-Aid, it's not that it's being given to me. He's telling me that there is a chance and you're contributing to that chance. So there's nothing in my mind that's making me think like, oh, I should just let it go now. Like, no, he's literally telling me like, I love how you changed yourself for the better to make a possible future for us. I don't know how other way I'm supposed to take that message than when I meet EJ, October 23rd at the hotel. So what happens is I decided to go up to Woodland Hills at the Hilton to pray for a weekend. But obviously I knew he lived in Woodland Hills, so it'd just be easier for him to come see me. And
Shayla? Or is that part? You skip Marvin and Shayla?
No, Marvin and Shayla come into this part.
Oh, okay, go ahead. When you still at the hotel, everyone's like, oh, you met me at the hotel. Please explain yourself.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys. So I book a room. I found a Groupon to go to the hotel, and I say I'm going up there to pray. And as I'm leaving, I bump into EJ, and EJ is getting food from Marvin. We're going to use the names Marvin and Shayla. So EJ is getting food from Marvin, and I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I just came into town. What are you doing here? I'm like, oh, I'm just praying, just here to pray. And he's like, okay, well, like, don't tell Prophet Lovie that I'm here yet. I want to surprise him or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So then I think Marvin goes and tells Lovie. And then after that, Lovie messages me and he's like, so like, EJ's at the Hilton. Like, now I can't come see you, like, da-da-da-da-da or whatever. And I'm like, oh, no, okay, I guess it is what it is. So why does this matter? EJ and I decide to go to Joey to have lunch together. So we're having lunch. I'm driving. So he gets in the car. I like pop the trunk and he sees like sand and, blankets. And he's like, oh, dang, like you must go to the beach a lot. And I'm like, yeah. And then he gets in the front seat. As you guys saw, I have like those beads from Ghana hanging in my rearview mirror. And he's like, oh, like, where'd you get those beads from? I was like, oh, Papa brought them back from Ghana for me. He was like, oh, okay, that's nice. So then eventually we get to Joey's, and then that's when you're like, are you in love with my brother? And I was like, what? Like, everybody loves Papa. Like, what are you talking about?
This is exactly what happened the way it happened. Like, you're replaying exactly word for word the conversation.
No, literally. So I was like, yeah, everybody loves Papa. And you were like, yeah, but are you in love with my brother? And I was like, your brother's in love with me. Like, you're not going to play me like that. I'm not just some like crazy girl. Like, he loves me. So then, so then that's when I show you the screenshot of him saying like, I actually love you. And I just show you like all of the, or whatever. And I don't know. So we finish up our meal and you're like, can you take me to the house real quick? And I'm like, okay, like, sure. So, and guys, like when I say this is real life, we're not making this up. How vivid this is. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not lying. So this is all the same day. EJ and I go to Joey. I tell him that the prophet is in love with me. We're in a relationship. Then after our meal, he's like, take me up to the house. So I drive EJ up to the house. As I'm pulling up into Campo Road, I see Maggie taking groceries out of her trunk and walking them up into that house. And I'm like, now remember, yes, they eventually do have to get married, but they are not together. They are not living together. She lives with her roommate, Betty, in Sherman Oaks. That is what I believe. That is what I know to be true. So when I pull up to the house, and just for if anyone's wondering, well, didn't you think it was suspicious that you guys never like were at the house together? You guys were never intimate at the house together? To me, I didn't mind, obviously because I was delusional, but also because of Drew. And I just figured he didn't want to have a woman in his house that his son didn't know. So it was just easier for him and I to not be at the house, do what we do, whatever. That was my rationale. Like, again, maybe that sounds really dumb to y'all, but just being transparent. So then we're pulling up into the driveway. I see her taking groceries out of her car, but I'll never forget, she was wearing like this giant oversized brown flannel, like jacket. Anyways, brings the groceries into the car. I park, you take your suitcase out, I think, or I don't even remember if you had your suitcase. I don't know, but then you go into the house. I'm sitting in the driveway, like fuming, like literally losing my mind. I don't know how to, I don't know how to process.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that part.
What part?
That you're losing your mind.
I was in the car crashing. I was just like, no, I know that's not okay. But I didn't say anything to Lovi when I found out. Like, I just was like in shock, I guess. Yeah. So that happens, guys. So that's like the first time that I see her, that it looks like she lives there. I mean, maybe she could be volunteering to help the needy and the hungry and just bringing food for the food drive. But I'm pretty sure it's given she lives there. You know what I'm saying? You remember what she had on? Yeah, this is a very traumatizing event, y'all. Like, so that happens. And then after that, I don't tell him, but I meet Marvin and Shayla. And that's when like I start becoming cool with Marvin and Shayla. And this is another couple that has also been in the Elias group chat. This is another couple that, they know what's going on.
They switch the names up for privacy purposes.
Yes, we're names up for protection. Just, not to say that they're innocent, but it's just like, I think they've been through enough.
That's awesome. That's Marvin and Shayla.
We are not Marvin and Shayla. Sorry, y'all. These little things are driving me insane. Marvin and Shayla referred to the couple that EJ was close with, and that was also in Revelation. Just don't want to use their names. So you look like you want to use their names.
I don't.
Yes.
They went through a lot.
They went through a lot. So, yeah, so that was going on. She definitely lived there. How did you forgive him for all that he did to you? She obviously did there. Again, I wasn't at the house often, guys. The only times I had been to the house so far had been when I went to do the live stream. Remember the first time that we went and he invited us, me and the other two girls, and then literally pulling up. So yeah, wasn't a lot to go off of. Anyways, after that, we all start, some stuff starts to feel off. And then you expressed to me how he had tried to sleep with one of your exes. And so, well, I guess we don't have to say her name, but yeah. So then kind of me and EJ, we start kind of trying to like, 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2, like what's really going on? And you said it was in like September, right? That he tried to make a move towards your ex?
It was around the same time. It was around when I was close to Marvin and Shayla. It was around then. It was a Sunday morning. And I was getting ready for church, and
I don't know. Don't put me in it.
I don't think it was that weekend. I don't know if it
You
was that
knew.
weekend because my friend was not was around, but not. Oh, no. It wasn't that weekend. It was a different
No,
weekend.
it was,
I was
it was
getting ready for
before.
a live stream for a Sunday because I used to do Sunday morning live streams, and I was getting ready for a live stream, and I seen that my ex sent me that message, and she was like, "Yo, Love was talking about me being a second wife." Da, 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 da. I'm like, "What? Like, why would you do
Yeah.
that?" And I just heard. Actually, I had heard from someone else that he allegedly there's this other girl, and that girl was the ex-girlfriend of one of his members, and he was allegedly messing with that person.
Oh
And so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I knew it was true, and then she sent me the screenshots, and I was heated. I was like, man, like everybody you could have hit up, you hit up my, like, what's good. And then
So you had that, but you had never said anything to me about that. And
yeah,
then once I saw Maggie and I came to you and I was like, "Do you see what's going on here?" You were like, "Man, he tried to like." Then that's when you let me know what's going on with your ex. So like now we're just two confused people that are like, you even wanted to say that your ex was lying. Like you were very much like, no, like not him, like no.
I
And I'm
told her
like,
she was lying. I was like, nah, he didn't say
yeah,
that. Love, you will never say that. You never do
yeah,
that.
yeah. Did he call you broke or something like that? Wow, you want this small guy? It's got no money. Like I can take care of you. Like wow, messy. But what we have receipts for, allegedly,
Yeah,
allegedly.
allegedly.
So allegedly. So that happens, and then so we start trying to put two and two together, and then Marvin and Shayla are giving us their experiences of actually being a part of the ministry and things that have gone wrong with them, and they did certain things, certain rituals, and they didn't work, or they were told something was not going to happen, and it did happen.
Wow.
So their faith is starting to get shooken. My understanding of our relationship is obviously very much wayward. And, you're trying to understand, like, is this guy my brother? But he's literally trying to smash my ex. So,
I'm
and
holding in tears right now because I literally remember like that whole season.
that was,
I fought so hard to like get out. Like you see me cry. Like,
yeah,
oh my god! Like, you see me cry so many
right.
times. Like this is
So
crazy.
that's why I also remember, guys, the timeline from I joined in May, and then May to September, I'm a normal daughter. And then September on is when like all this stuff starts happening. What we're telling you right now, from the first Ghana trip to running into EJ at the hotel to finding out that, I'm really delusional. Someone is trying to sleep with this girl, Marvel and Shayla. This is all within like a week span. It gets actually diabolically crazy in that moment. So the next thing that happens is we start doing music because you told me that you do music, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do music too. So you and I go to the studio, we start doing music or whatever, and like he crashes out a little bit, and he's like, who are you at the studio with? And I was just like he's like, is anybody hitting on you? And I just like LOL and all that stuff, and I tell him like, no, like it's not like that. I'm here with Uncle, whatever, blah blah blah. So then October 31st, he asks me to come to a live stream. I come to a live stream, and mind you guys, we haven't really seen each other much since I saw Maggie get out of the car and put groceries in the car, because he's also working on the church building fund, and also Christian isn't doing very well, according to what he's told me. So we just haven't seen each other very much. And so honestly, that's like a 5-day period when I think about it. So it was like a week, I guess. So then I go to the house, and Maggie's not there. I think maybe she was out of town or something like that. I only come to the house when she's out of town, which gosh dang it should have been like, girl, duh, but please, anyways. So I get there, he does the live stream in the movie room, and then after the live stream, we watch Mad Max, and then all of a sudden, he wants me to go to the studio. I'm like, wow. Everybody want me to do this. So this is kind of like that competition thing that I always thought you guys had. Like, I go to the studio with EJ. Now Lobi wants me in the studio. Like, what's going on here? But I go to the studio, and he sits me down on his lap, and he tells me, dead in my eyes, like, God made the final decision. It has to be Maggie. So I start like, and he doesn't know that I obviously saw her take like the groceries into the house, but I like crash out. I'm like crying, like boohooing, like, are you sure? You're just like, really? Like, I've been working so hard. I've been trying, like, blah, blah, blah. And like obviously in retrospect, it's like, girl, but I was like, really, yeah. So I'm crying my eyes out. What?
Was this around the time or a different time? The one where you're crying, you look kind of crazy.
Oh, not yet.
Okay.
That's a different time I'm crying. I cried a lot during this period, guys.
Okay.
I cried a lot.
Oh, I just in our studio one. I just put up our studio one where we were in the studio.
We'll get to that crying picture a little bit later. That was literally my birthday. So I'm crying, and then the only reason why I'm even telling you guys this is because I don't think people recognize just how like much he just doesn't care about, allegedly, doesn't care about anyone's emotions. I'm like crashing out crying, and then in the middle of it, he like looks up at me and he's like, so do you want me to like, do you want me to consume a meal? I don't know how to say that in like a way that, would you like me to put on your, essentially.
Close them doors.
But he wanted the doors open. So, I'm crying, I'm crashing out, and I'm like, okay. So like, yeah, literally that happens. We are intimate in the studio. So when you asked me like, had you been in the house, and like, yes. And then it's very, very late. And so I also put the screenshot of me checking into a hotel. He helped me get a hotel. So I get there October 31st and I leave. Now it's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So technically it's November 1st. So he helps me get a room at the Hilton. And can you put that bank statement up? Girl, we knew what you meant. Thank you. I'm not just trying to say it. Jeez. But I just think that's so like manipulative and diabolical. Like, you just told a woman who's in love with you that it's not good. Yeah. So that's when I went there on the 31st. And then as you can see on the 1st.
Is that coming into your account from
that's me
or leaving your account?
No, so I'm still giving, guys. And again, just to go back to the delusion, I still think he's a spiritual Christian leader. So I'm still doing my due diligence in the form of giving. So yeah, I got something from a gas station, obviously, and then I'm there, and then you can see 1101 Hilton Woodland Hills. So then I go check in, to the hotel. And yeah, that. But also, just to be clear, you guys are probably like, so then you were done messing with him. He told me that we couldn't get married. He did not tell me we had to break up. He told me we could not get married. He did not say that means you and I are done. That didn't happen. So should it have happened? Well, duh, of course. If anything, I should have been like, well, girl, he said he's not going to marry you. So what else are you here for? But he also likes to test people. And as he did my first time when he asked me to send that video. And so I'm low key like, maybe it's a test. Like maybe he's trying to see if like I'm actually going to leave or like if I'll stay. Like this is sort of like the rhetoric that allows people to do the extreme because you don't know what is to prove something to God, to prove something to your prophet, or what's like fact. So it's like so like there's the obviously emotional side with someone that I'm in a relationship with telling me that I can't marry them. And then there's a side of like, wait, but like he's still my spiritual father. So do I like, he didn't tell me that it's over between us, just that he can't marry me. So maybe he's like, I don't know. You start to get like all these crazy thoughts and you just try to justify everything in a way that you can, but none of it is makes sense, obviously. So yeah, that happened. And then I tell you, and then you're like, you actually say something to me. You're like, look, he told you what it is. What are you going to do? Like, you can't keep, like, your soul is now in jeopardy in a sense. You were just like, you said something like, if you were to die right now, like, would the Lord be pleased with the life that you're living? Something
By the
along those
way,
lines.
for the record, this is when we found out that he was like serious. Like he was like, remember the juju thing? I put it together, and I was like, this guy is doing juju. And at this point, we have become like really close friends, of course. And I was like, I don't know. And then you tell me this, I'm like, yo, like, where are you gonna go? And this is the part I was talking about in Hardly Initiated, where we had this fallout, and then I kind of checked him because I thought he was doing witchcraft, but then I went back to him because I got gaslit back into like thinking I was the one in the wrong and he was the one that was right. He was the deep one. I was the one that didn't really know the whatever. And I think a lot of people got hurt from that situation because I was like advocating like this. I think it's juju. It's juju. There's no way. You can't tell me nothing. And all these people, including you, now see me back at his house. Like, wait, what's going on? Confusing, right? So just putting that out there.